Yo, what is up, guys? Joker bringing you another video for the 3.25 Settlers of Kalguur League, bringing you a relatively short video, I assume, going over my three favorite things that we got in Settlers of Kalguur. In my opinion, these are the best three features to come out of Settlers of Kalguur, but let's get into it. So, coming in at number three, we have the Nameless Seer and scrying div cards onto other maps. I may be a little biased because at the start of the league, I did get two nameless seers that gave me two Aziri's foibles, so it gave me like 20 div at the start of the league. But I still think it's a cool little gamble mechanic that you find in your maps from literally doing nothing additionally, right? On top of the fact that he comes with the perk of being able to move div cards onto other maps. And in my opinion, this is a huge quality of life. If you didn't play Path of Exile back when we had to run the one specific map to go ahead and target farm div cards like Crimson Temple, Defiled Cathedral, then we have when we could get the Doctor from Burial Chambers, right? Stuff like that, where you'd have to run thousands of the same map, and it was just annoying. This goes ahead and gives you the ability of running whatever maps that you enjoy and you want to run. So I think it's a huge win right there. The fact that I'm able to go ahead and be like, okay, well, I want to run beach right now. So I want to make sure that I can drop a good div card. Let me go to one of these other maps like Defile Cathedral, Burial Chambers, Moon Temple, right? Because Moon Temple has 7 years bad luck. Then Burial Chambers has Brother's Gift, and Defile Cathedral has the Apothecary. And I would normally go ahead and put this on any of these maps, right? Any of these maps. There's like a super small core pool of maps that I always tend to run, as many of them as they do exist in the league, right? Tropical Island, Beach, Jungle Valley, Strand, City Square, Promenade, Glacier, Silo, Dune, Cemetery, right? So, as you can see, I focus on like just wide open maps that don't have like doors and shit primarily. But yeah, that's coming in at number three. Nameless Seer is a huge plus. He's hopefully staying indefinitely. I don't see why he wouldn't. Coming in at number two, actually, first I'm going to address the fact I don't know why I said hopefully nameless Seer is staying. I'm pretty sure he is a core game mechanic, so he's not tied to S.O.K at all. I don't think they're planning on doing any changes, but let's just hope that they're not. But yeah, getting into number two is something that I feel like is going to get nerfed, right? This is going to be heavily nerfed. You probably already know what I'm talking about just looking at my ascendancy in general, but it's tinctures, right? Tinctures are going to get nerfed, in my opinion. They're so strong, it's insane, right? If we go ahead and take a look at POB, I'm sorry, POE Ninja, 22% of players right now are using a tincture. I know it is a more melee oriented league because of the rework to whatchamacallit, the rework to melee, right? I know more people are trying more melee centered builds, and Vol Lightning Strike is like fucking cracked. But tinctures, in my opinion, are just too strong. I don't see them surviving. I really enjoy them because it gives me one button to push that like quadruples my damage. It's fucking insane how much damage you get from these things. But as the example, right, the current tincture that I'm using gives me 162% increased elemental damage, and it gives me 29% LE pin, right? To put that into perspective, that's pretty much three times the strength of force of nature, on top of giving me what, 24. How many times does 24 go into 162? Give me 1 second. So pretty much giving me three times the force of nature and then seven times the other will. So it's like getting this times like seven, essentially. It's insane. And there's so many other tinctures that are good as well that I just don't see them surviving, because if you have any amount of sustain, especially with blood soaked blade, it's easy to get your tinctures to have a huge amount of uptime. Like the cooldown's only 8 seconds, but you can easily have the tincture up with a little bit of instant leech for like 30 seconds plus, even without being spec'd in to any of the tincture nodes. Plus the fact that we have things like Flesh and Flame, which would allow you to still Seasoned Hunter on a Deadeye or a whatchamacallit, a Deadeye or a Pathfinder, right? And then that would just stack with this additionally. And if you're stacking tinctures and flask, your character is going to be pretty much just getting everything from pure utility, and it doesn't even matter what you have on your character. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Number two, tinctures, really good, really enjoy them. 99% sure they're going to be nerfed. And coming in at number one is going to be the most impactful feature that we've seen in a very long time. This is, in my opinion, the reason why people have played so much longer than this league than they normally would have, on top of the fact that I've seen posts on Reddit that actually had several hundred upvotes saying that if this feature doesn't stay in the game, they're probably not going to be playing next league. You probably already know what I'm talking about just by the description, because it's probably the first thing that comes to mind. And it's going to be the currency exchange with Faustus the Financier, right? This is the most impactful feature that we've gotten in Path of Exile in an extremely long time. It not only adds an ease to trading, it just adds so much quality of life, right? That's why people are saying that if it does not go core, they don't know if they're playing next league. That's how big of a deal Faustus is. Previously, what we would have to do is we would go to the trade site and we would go to the bulk item exchange, and you would do something like this, right? I want to sell the fusings that I have for divines. You would go ahead and you would click I have fusings, I want divines, and you would see what people are buying them for. This also go let you go ahead and check margins if you flip it, showing you, okay, these people are willing to sell this many fusings for this many divines, right? As opposed to where this is people that are buying this many fusings for this many divines, if that makes sense. So essentially, there's like a 500 fusing difference that's currently going on with these trades of people buying and selling fusings. But that's essentially what we had to do. And I'm pretty positive a large majority of people have never seen this screen before in their life. This was the trade, this was the bulk item exchange help guide type thing, which walked you through how to set up a bulk item trade, essentially how to set up a buy and a sell order previously. So let's grab some divines and go over to this tab, right? What you did previously is you would put the item that you want to bulk sell, or to set up a buy order, you would do the same exact thing. You would go to a premium stash tab, and you would go squiggly price, what you have for what you want, right? So I have one divine that I want to sell for 150 chaos, and as you can see, it would set it up like this. You could do this for a vast majority of the items, essentially every currency item in the game, right? You could do it for all of the cards, you could do it for all of the beast, you could do it for essence, you could do it for literally everything. That's why it was called a buy order. You were essentially setting up what you were trying to buy, right? But the auction house, the currency exchange, it just makes it significantly easier, saying, okay, I want to sell my divines for this much chaos. Now, this is the best feature and most impactful feature of the league, but since it is the first iteration, it still can use a lot of love. I feel like it should move something, it should move towards being something like the Grand Exchange in old school RuneScape, right? where there is a static cost on trades. So there's a 1% cost for selling items in old school RuneScape. And once it hits that cost, it essentially buys one of the items that was being traded and it deletes it from the economy, making sure that it's kind of a rich people tax, because if you're selling low volume items you really don't experience it, but it goes ahead and helps balance out the economy quite a lot. So an example that would work like this in Path of Exile would be like, for every 100 divines I sell, or just 1%, like let's say I sell 100 chaos, right? One of those chaos orbs would be deleted, and if you do that 1,000 times, 1,000 chaos out of the economy, right? It would go ahead and help give the economy an overall healthier feel, and where it is a lot more balanced between the top end and the bottom end of players. Is that the right solution? Probably not. I'm not saying implement it one to one. I'm saying something more along those lines where we're able to use it to balance out the economy. As well as I feel like they should just use these numbers. They shouldn't have players set their own numbers, right? They should, because they have all the data of what the items are actually actively being traded for on the trade site, between the bulk item exchange, regular trades, and the PoE Ninja graphs, right? Showing you what items are currently being traded for. These should be the prices that pop up on the currency exchange, right? When I put an item in here, it should be pulling the information from the graphs that we have on PoE Ninja, much like how it works in old school RuneScape. Once again, right? They have a website called GE Tracker, which is essentially their PoE Ninja. Right? It goes ahead and it shows the trade volume and the prices of items. So we have the values already. It shouldn't be set up like this, where people are able to put whatever numbers they would like. Um, that feature can stay, but it should be set up more like this, right? Where it shows the actively traded prices in game. And then it gives us some options like this. If you did want to try to buy it faster, buy it slower, that type thing, where you go ahead and just say, okay, I want to try to buy it for 15% less than that market value. I want to buy it for 15% more. And it goes ahead and it just does all of that math for you. They have the ability, I know they have the technology for them to go ahead and do that and just have this directly linked. So hopefully next league, we see Faustus back, but we also do see more quality of life for the currency exchange, because I don't know where the sentiment came from that Path of Exile stopping, but it's not. GGG said multiple times that Path of Exile is going to have continued development and ongoing seasons alongside Path of Exile too. Uh, I've seen and heard a couple of people say like, "Oh, when Path of Exile is done," and it makes me feel like they just don't know that Path of Exile is not, like, it's not closing, right? Path of Exile is going to have a league run parallel to Path of Exile 2. I think they said it's like a 4-month swap and swap. So it'd be like 4-month PoE league, 4-month Path of Exile league, which 2 of the 4 months would be overlapping, which is good because a lot of people only play for a month, month and a half, anyways. So if you have a Path of Exile 2 league start 2 weeks after you stop playing the Path of Exile league, you're going to be retaining that entire player base. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go ahead and throw up a short video going over my favorite features. I say short video, but I'm pretty sure this is like a 12-minute video. Sorry about that. But do you agree? Do you think these are the best features of S.O.K, or did you like something else? But yeah, other than that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with this and future content. And until next time, take care.